Welcome. In this presentation, I'm diving into the Level K8 and how it can support you in your home space, in your life, and how it changes the water for you so that you can have living water in your home. So this is a very big topic. If hydration is something that maybe you've never gone into before, I have another video on hydration, which I may have already sent you. But if you haven't received that, do let me know and I will send it on, because it's very helpful to have a bit more information about different kinds of water and how water affects the body, which we will touch on in this video. With that, I will dive right in. My name is Keeva, and I decided to share this water because I went for a deep dive into water systems, which I feel if you're doing that, you are brave. A lot of response I get from people is almost a little bit like, it's so challenging what is going on within our water systems that it's almost like I don't want to look at it. So I did do the deep dive for myself, for my family. After exploring different waters around the world, that was really what clued me into it, was just how different I felt when I was living in farmland on spring water, and then I was living in cities with tap water, and I was really starting to get that experiential difference, like, oh, there's something going on here, there's something different. And this led me down to understand, well, why is there a difference? And then I started to ask the question of, well, if I don't have access to spring water or living, moving water, which a lot of people don't, then what do I do? And that's when I came across this water ionization thing and what it can do. And then I found one for myself and tried it out for myself. And that's really an ethos that I keep for everything within my business, is I only share what I know or have experienced. So that is why I'm here sharing this with you. And this is a simple way to achieve the benefits of having living water in your home space. So it's an aspect of our lives. It really affects everything down to a cellular level, down to our thought processes, down to our mood, our cleaning in our home. There's just so many ways in which this affects your life. So it does change everything. And that's why it's nice to have someone to support you on the journey, from purchasing to integrating it into your life to going through some cleansing within your body. So that's what I am here for, and honored to go on that journey with people. It really does give me so much joy, and it resonates with my mentality of keeping it simple. I love to invest in things that help to support me in living the life that I think is good for the world, it's good for myself, and it also doesn't bring a lot of complexity or, fuss into my life. And this fits into that. So if it resonates with you as well, this will work well for you. So we're going to touch on the water ionization system that I use and share about, why this can help you within your body, how this can also help then in your, how much waste is produced within your home space, and the other different kinds of water that it produces other than for the health benefits. And that may not be something that you have thought of thus far, but it's a huge perk of having this in your home space. And then touching on Enagic, the company, just a little bit about them, their history and their ethos, what their message is, and how they share it with the world, so that you can get a bit more of an idea. I haven't shared any particular studies. I'm not going to do a deep dive study analysis in this presentation, so I look forward to doing more of that in the future as I bring together more information in an organized presentation way. However, I do have a lot of resources. So if there's something specific for you, if there's an ailment you are working with in your body, or there's a particular concern you have with your home space water, do let me know and I'll share on specific resources for you. And you can send all those queries on to elementalempressmedicine@gmail.com. And yes, we have the inside of the machine we're going to start with. We're going to go inside to outside, my favorite way of going about things. So we have the lovely K8 machine here on the left, and this is essentially, if you were to open it up, what it would look like. It does look very nice on the countertop. We'll go and have a look at the picture of the outside in the coming slides. The idea is that it's simple for people to use in their home. That's what it's designed for. It is a medical grade water ionizing machine, and there's lots of different kinds. So the Level UK is specific for just people who want it in their home, and that's why it's small and it's simple and it does just what you need it to do for tap water. So it's not, you need a pre-filter if you have water that is not actually like drinkable before you put it through the machine, but it is perfect for tap water. It goes through the water filter, so a hose attaches it here to the tap, moves through the water filter to remove sediment, rust, lead, chlorine, bacteria, and odors. And this is a carbon filter. This can be replaced, and depending on how much you use it, it can be 6 months, it can be 12 months, depending. And that's very easy to order from the Enagic store as well, to just order replacements for that. So you know that your water is being filtered before it comes in. We have purified water coming in then through into the electrolysis chamber. And so the filter side of it is good. We can also, get filters from lots of different sources. This is really what makes it unique, this electrolysis chamber, and the quality of this chamber and how it works is unique to this machine. So we have titanium and platinum plates. So the titanium is the conductor and the platinum is the coating on the plates so that they don't rust. Very high quality for producing this water ionization process to go through without rusting, without deterioration. Is a big problem, obviously, when you're putting water through something consistently. That's where a lot of these machines can come into some issues with the piping, with the cleaning, and with the plates. So with that, it does cleanse itself without asking you every minute that you use it. It goes through it starts to clean itself. So sometimes it's like, oh, I'll clean it later, I'll clean it later. And it's like, nope, it just stops you from using it until it cleans itself. I find that is a really handy one. So here we go. We have the Kangen water, the drinking water coming out of the large alkaline spout. So this comes out of the top of the machine. And out of the bottom of the machine is the acidic water. So we never drink the water out of the acidic spout. And this can be used for cleaning and for all different kinds of uses, which I'll hop into in the next slide. There is some chlorine taken out in this process as well as in the filter, and some fluoride also comes out within this process as well, and it goes out through the acidic. The major thing with the alkaline water, what you're getting is more hydrogen released, more minerals released, and this changes the taste of the water. So it can be akin to a little bit like mountain water, where you're really starting to taste those rich minerals in the water. And then the hydrogen can be seen with these little bubbles that pop up in the water as well. So you can see the hydrogen is being released. And we'll go more into that in the coming slides as well, and structurally how that works and how that can benefit you. So this is just an idea to see how it goes through that in the machine. So just to summarize that as well, we're transforming stagnant polluted water into cleansed living water. So this process is giving the water a specific charge so that it is living, that it's not stagnant like tap water. With that, we have 5 kinds of water, and this is the front screen, which you'll see in the coming slides as well, on the front of the machine of the different kinds of water that it produces. It's a very simple front screen. It literally just has buttons for these waters, and that's pretty much it. So it's nice, it's very user-friendly in that way, and it can do so much, and it can be complicated to understand. I mean, you can go into so many levels of complexity with this. However, you can also just keep it super simple, and just there are color buttons on the screen, and you push that one for this reason, another one for another reason, keeping it nice and simple. We have the Kangen water here, the 8.5 and 9.5 is coming out of that top spout that I mentioned, and this is, we'll go into the health benefits of this water. This is the drinking water. And so the 8.5 to 9.5 can be used for cooking as well, for making teas and coffees. So because of the way that it is living, it moves in and out of the cells more easily. That's the same for food and for teas and for coffees. And that's a really cool experiment. Like, you can see how it works in front of your eyes. Obviously you're going to feel it in your body, but you can't see it moving in and out of your cells. Unfortunately, I'm sure you could on a microscope or something like that, but on the general day-to-day. So I really enjoy looking at it as, like, you can see it in a tea bag. You can see if you put a tea bag in boiled tap water and you put a tea bag in boiled 9.5 water, it comes out of the tea bag much more because the water is able to move into the tea bag and out. and that's symbolic of what it's doing within your cells. And so this stretches into when you're making rice, when you're making soups, broths, all these different kinds of foods taste really fresh. And the second thing that makes your food taste much more fresh and vibrant is this pH 11 water. And the reason for that is because the pH 11 is an emulsifier, so it absorbs things, absorbs oils. And what that can be used for in regards to food is to take that pesticide residue off of your vegetables and your produce. And this is so huge to the flavor that comes through. Sometimes with like red peppers, and especially those ones that are sprayed quite a lot, like apples, things like that, there's this like tang, this off tang that comes sometimes with pesticide residue and herbicide, all those chemicals that are sprayed to mass produce these products. Even if they're organic, there still can be sprayed with certain things. It leaves this taste. So we can take that off with pH 11, and that definitely contributes to particularly salads when you're not even cooking it. You can taste much of a difference, and also reduces our need to purchase stain removers as well for couches and clothes and things in your home space. So the pH 11 water, you can pop that in a bowl and scrub out your stains, and it sucks out the stains out of things, and that reduces the amount of things that we need to purchase. With the pH 7 water, we hear is a neutral water. So this is great for taking medication, for baby food, for making bottles, things like that, where you don't want to be increasing the pH. You want it to be nice and balanced. We then have the beauty water. This also comes out of the top spout. So all four of these are coming out of the top spout, the bigger hose. And this beauty water is really great for skincare and for hair. And it's lovely to also, again, not have to buy so many different things, so you can have it in a spray bottle. And essentially what this does is it cleanses the skin, so it's slightly astringent in the pH, and this strips some of the oils, so the excess dirt or residue off the skin, but it still leaves enough oils that it's not completely stripping the skin. So sometimes with soap it can be very harsh, and then the body has to regenerate a lot of oil onto the skin again, and that can overproduce oil, and then we need to use more cleanser, and it just turns into this like back and forth. With the beauty water, it's a simple spray and it leaves the skin feeling soft. So for if you don't have a shower filter just yet, there is another presentation I have for a great shower filter that you can get that helps with this without having to spray your body. But if you haven't jumped into that just yet, you can still spray your skin, your body after a shower with the beauty water to get that soft feel. And you're also going to be experiencing less skin issues, less skin dryness with drinking the pH 8.5 and 9.5 because it's hydrating your body more, and that's obviously going to have an impact on your skin. And then with the hair as well, it has a conditioning effect. So again, hydrating, sealing off dry ends of the hair, and also into the scalp as well. If you suffer from having a dry scalp, this is really great to use the beauty water on your scalp to keep it feeling clean, but not completely stripped of all the oils that are really healthy and beneficial for the growth of your hair, and for just feeling relaxed as well. That kind of relaxed feeling comes when we don't have dryness in our scalp and our hair and our skin. It can feel very much like we're super exposed to the world. So that beauty water is great for that. And lastly, we have the strong acidic water, pH 2.5, and this is manifested, the pH 11 and the pH 2.5 are manifested due to the electrolysis enhancer that is in the machine. And so I'll just go back really quickly here. Underneath here, it's not in this diagram, we have an electrolysis enhancer, and this is a salt water solution. And so salt water goes through this electrolysis process, and that is what gives it this medical grade status, because it can produce this very low pH water, which produces a cleaning water. And so this component within it that provides that antimicrobial factor is the hypochlorous acid, and this is the same same component that you will find in bleach. And the reason why bleach though is quite toxic is that that hypochlorous acid is suspended within chlorine, and that gives it a shelf life of 12 months, and that's obviously optimal for producing it and selling it. With this, suspending it in a low pH water, it only lasts around 6 days in the fridge. So you fill it up from the machine. Maybe when you're washing your produce, when I'm washing my produce, I just have a little bottle underneath the lower tap, and that fills up with the 2.5 throughout the week. And then I have a stock of 2.5 in the fridge for the end of the week when I do like washing up the floors, the bathrooms, the countertops, everything like that. I have some 2.5 built up for that. And this is so great because you can get the oils off of the more heavy duty stuff like the cooker with the pH 11 if you wish, if that's like you need a bit more heavy duty cleaner. And then you can do a wash over with the 2.5 onto all the countertops. And it's really, you can just add some essential oils into the spray bottle or into the bucket for mopping the floor. And this gives the whole house a really nice smell and feel as well. And for children, you don't have to worry about them eating off of the surfaces after you've washed it down with the 2.5. It's very safe to use. And obviously then you're not having to buy as many cleaning products. One of my favorite things about this whole machine and the whole diversity of things that it allows is that I'm not polluting the water that's going down my drain. So the more things that I have that are just good systems in place, the less pollution that has to go down the drain, and that makes me feel better because there's just so many toxins going into our water systems, and then that's making it harder to recycle our water, and that's really putting a lot of pressure on the earth and the natural cycles that we live on, that we need. And so with the shower filter, there's less need for shampoo and conditioner. With all of these waters, there's less need for cleaning products, and cleaning products are major pollutant for water because they're so strong. So we're using less of them, and we're manifesting nice clean water that's going out of our houses, even though we are still cleaning everything. To touch a bit more on the 9.5 about why this is a powerful water to be drinking rather than just drinking tap water or even filtered water. With filtered water, we're just taking out the things that we don't want to have in it. So we have in water sometimes heavy metals and chlorine, fluoride, things like that we don't want to have in it. We take that out, it's still stagnant water, it still doesn't have any sort of life force to it, and the molecules are all clumped really tightly together. When we move the water through electrolysis, it breaks up these water molecules and kind of gets them to be excited. So if you've ever done any sort of science, you know, when things start to, sort of like if you put it under boiling water, it like gets excited. So it's doing that, but on the molecules are breaking up, so you're getting more hydrogen released. So water is water, but you're just getting the components released so that they can be absorbed much more easily into your cells to bring nourishment in and to bring toxins out. Hydrogen itself is a teeny tiny molecule, and this is important because it means that it can cross the blood-brain barrier. This is a major thing that I work with cleansing and bringing people through water fasts or juice cleanses, things like that. A lot of superfoods that are available, they don't actually get into the brain or to the deeper parts of the body that are storing toxins. And as we go through life, if we have been building up toxins for many years, the body is clever in a way that it stores it in the fat cells, so it's out of circulation, so we are safe to continue circulating blood and things like that. But then over time it runs out of places to store it, and it does start to get stored in the brain. And with that, it's very hard to get in there. So as we're coming into the later years of our life, the cleansing process becomes a bit more of a challenge, and it doesn't quite work when we're just using superfoods or foods in general, because the molecules, they cannot cross the blood-brain barrier. And this is where hydrogen comes in as a very powerful resource for getting into those deeper toxins. Electrolysis, as I was saying, the water molecules start to separate, and that releases the minerals and the hydrogen, which you saw in the previous diagram of the inner workings of the machine. And that is the simplicity of it, and that is where the power resides. And we can see that in another angle from the oxidation reduction potential, ORP, and this may be resonant with you if you're in any way into cleansing, or you just notice on an article on nutrition that blackberries have more antioxidants than another fruit, and that is based off of the oxidation reduction potential, and that's the water within the fruit that's being tested. And so our tap water depends on where you are, of course. I'm giving an average here is around plus 400 ORP. So that's meaning that it's not an antioxidant in any way. And then Kangen water is around minus 800 ORP. And so this is essentially showing that it does have the capacity to detoxify your body, to take out those free radicals, those harmful things that are produced from metabolic waste and from chemicals that we consume from the air, the water, and the foods that we eat. It is an unfortunate circumstance that we are absorbing and exposed to a lot of toxins in our world today. So for me, I just love to know that something that I drink all the time is filled with antioxidants, because getting enough food and getting enough of everything in there can be a challenging and also quite costly. So it's nice to just know that that's in the water and I have to think about it less, but I'm still giving my body that extra bit of support that in this time on our planet, I feel everyone really needs that extra lift. That is a lot of technical jargon, and you may want to go deeper into that for sure, and do let me know. There's different aspects to it in science and health, so let me know what speaks to you and I'll send you more resources. In the same sense, to simplify it, what does all of that translate to? If you have more hydrogen, if you have more minerals, what does it actually mean? And what it means is that your gut lining is going to love you so much. This is the biggest part I find for digestion, for healing. For the roots of healing, a lot of people will say that it is in the digestive system, because of course, if our digestive system cannot assimilate our foods, we are going to struggle. And that is a root cause of many ailments within the body. And the gut lining is hugely related to how hydrated we are. So we cannot sustain a healthy gut microbiome if we have a dehydrated gut lining. And that can be very hard to rehydrate with tap water and with stagnant water. And the gut lining replenishes every 3 to 5 days. So we want to be getting the hydration to have that changeover of cells and to have that regeneration within our digestive system. We're going to be having strong detoxification systems, because generally flow is much more easy with the blood, with digestion, with toxins coming out of cells on a cellular level. So all of that from a cellular level up to the more complex systems is flowing more, and this is what allows the toxins to be able to be released from our system. So it's not the toxins so much that are bad, it's more the stagnation that is a problem. Of course, we want to reduce how much we're consuming, but if it is stagnating in the body, that's when it's going to really cause pain and discomfort and ailments to manifest over time. We have a flow of hormones. This is particular for women. The hormone estrogen is released through the colon on the second half of the cycle. And sometimes if we don't have good digestive health, we don't have flow within the body, this builds up over time and we start to get multiple doses of hormone with each menstrual cycle. And this can cause a lot of discomfort emotionally and otherwise. And establishing a flow of hormones is again about the blood. It's about how everything is communicating with each other, which is all supported by the water that we're drinking. And lastly, the two last ones are related, the nervous system and the energy body. We are insulating the nervous system more sufficiently when we have better water. If we are chronically dehydrated, we can feel anxious, like we're on edge, and it's because our nerves are quite afraid, they're quite exposed to the world because of this dryness that we have within our body. And so moisture gives that the flow of the nervous system, and this goes into our mindset, this goes into our moods. We start to feel more calm and serene when we are properly hydrated. And coming into the energy body, that goes into our outer, into meditation, into how we connect with other people. Our energy body can feel a lot healthier when we have more flow within the systems, in the physical aspects of our body. They mirror each other quite closely. That is the translation for the physical body. And if you are interested in more the zero waste living, this was something that I was overwhelmed by. I am sometimes still overwhelmed by this, of like how to manage or how to work with the amount of waste that one must produce as being a human, and it's hard to reduce that. I found it hard to go to the supermarket, even, of course, like picking things that aren't in plastic packaging, all of that kind of stuff. And I wanted more of a way to every day make less of an impact. And I was really excited with the aspects of the machine that support me in doing that, because yeah, it's a huge issue, and sometimes it's like, where can I make a difference? And it's nice to advocate for it by sharing documentaries or sharing information about it. At the end of the day, it comes back to the actions that each of us take individually. And if we make a change in our life significantly to reduce our waste and to simplify and have a more minimalistic life, in a sense, that's kind of all we need to do. If everyone does that, we're all going to inspire each other, we're all going to uplift each other to produce less waste and to make more choices that are beneficial for our environment. And so this machine is a great leap in that you don't have to think about it so much every time you go to the supermarket. There's less to think about. There's less cleaning products to buy, there's less skin products to buy, there's less hair products to buy. So you're naturally going to be living a less wasteful life. And financially, that is beneficial as well, because you have to buy less things. Simplifying life, it really does start with us, and simplifying life also simplifies the mind. So you've less to fuss about, and yeah, simplifying life always leads to more happiness, I feel. Hair products, lotions, cleansers, cleaning bottles, bottled water, all of that can be let go of. We don't need to do that anymore, because we have one simple system that manifests all of these things for us in one place. And you can get some nice, beautiful, reusable bottles. And this is the machine from the external view. We have this outer spout. This is where I was talking about the 9.5, the 11, and the beauty water all comes out of here. And there's another hose that comes out at the bottom here, and that's the acidic water. In here is the electrolysis enhancer, and this is the touch screen, which you choose the kind of water that you wish to use from. In here, this comes off, and this is where the filter is that can be changed. And it's great that it is on a stand here as well, so you can leave it on your kitchen counter without worrying about any sort of like water or liquid or anything like that. And it's also very easy to keep clean then, because it's a little bit above the countertop. And so behind here, you will need a plug to plug into the wall. And for your tap, there are multiple connections to the tap. So another hose comes out here and connects to the tap. And so there's multiple connections that come with the machine for different kinds of taps, so that you can be sure that your tap will have the right seal on it to move the water through the machine. So that's all the information about the practicalities of it for your particular kitchen. Be sure to send me on particular questions to see where it would work or how it would work for you. And lastly, we'll go into Enagic, just giving a bit of a background into this company and what they offer, what their message is. Their ethos is change your water, change your life. Knowing that water has this knock-on effect. It really does change everything in our lives. They have been running for over 40 years, and they're based in Japan. So all the machines are still made in Japan, even though they are now global. And they're made within factories with OEM manufacturing. So this means that all of the materials, from the box that it's produced in to the bits in the machine, they're all brought together in one place. And this is very good environmentally as well, to be producing all the machines in one place, and each machine is made by one person from start to finish. And this is beneficial for quality control, obviously, as well. So even though they have grown to be a worldwide company that produces machines for people all over the world, that quality has still remains very strongly, and that is shown in their iOS quality control processes. And of course, for this kind of machine, there are two important things. Obviously, the quality is very important, because it's a machine that you want to have for 25 years or so. You want to have it for a long time. You want to support your family and multiple people using the water, things like that. So you want it to be good quality for that investment. And also with the length of time that they have been running, this is a big one. As a second thing to watch for people who are producing these kinds of products, is that they have a warranty of 5 years for most of their products. And so they have gone through many warranties for many of their products for people all over the world. And sometimes companies will rise up, they'll have a product, they'll have lots of investment, they'll sell a bunch of them, and then they'll close before the warranties have really gone their full stretch, and people will have issues with the products in that warranty time, and they won't have anyone to go back to because the company will no longer exist. And so when it is a longer period of time, you can see that their products have been well received by people and that they've been able to deal with queries or faults or problems with the things that they have created. And their other products that I have more information on if you wish are their shower filtration system, which is called the Anespa, and that filters the chlorine out of your shower water. And that's very important because our skin is the largest organ in the body and it absorbs the chemicals just like we do when we drink water, so similar thing there. And then we have Ukon products as well. They produce very high quality turmeric supplements and teas. This is great as an anti-inflammatory if you're managing more high levels of toxicity in the body or different kinds of ailments. This can be really helpful as well with the water to give you that extra boost to cleanse the body. That is all the information. Again, if you have any questions, elementalempressmedicine@gmail.com. And I have a blog on my webpage, elementalempressmedicine.com, that dives into different types of hydration, how water can affect your emotional body. There's all different kinds of personal development on water there. My blog is broken up into the elements, fire, air, earth, and water, so do explore that if that intrigues you. And I am on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, so follow me on whatever platform resonates with you, and I will be happy to connect with you and to dive into your personal questions to see what is right for you and to support you on the journey. On my webpage, you can book straight in for a discovery call, or you can send me on an email there at elementalempressmedicine@gmail.com and just say, hey Keeva, love the presentation and really resonates with me, and I would love to book in for a discovery call, and I'll send you over my calendar. You can book in whenever suits you, and we can start the journey just with a conversation about personally where you are, what you feel like you need, and we'll go from there. Thank you so much for watching.